very cognizant of Jack and his story.
We've all become very cognizant of Jack and his story.
And when Alibaba
And when Alibaba
went public with the largest
went public with the largest IPO in history,
we knew a lot more
we knew a lot more
about him.
So I want to talk
about
his
his
personal story.
I want to talk about
how many times he tried and failed,
what kept him going,
and what kept him going.
I want to talk about where he
And I want to talk about
is today,
where he is today,
and how he got
here.
Here, begin with this question.
I'll begin with his
Jack,
question. Why are you back
at Davos?
Davos?
It's a long break.
It's been a long break
7 years, I think.
for 7 years, I think.
My last
trip here was in 2008. But
I was coming for year 2000.
I was coming for the year 2001 for the young global leader for tomorrow.
And I think I remember
I never heard about Davos when I came.
But
when I came into
Switzerland,
so many young people demonstrate. It was such a horrible sin. It was such a horrible sin. And I asked them,
what are they doing?
What are they doing? They say anti-globalization. And I said, why? Globalization is a great thing. Why people don't like it? And then we came
all the way for
2
hours
here. There's a machine gun. There's people checking
us.
Oh,
is that a fallen or?
Is it a firm or
was it prison?
Is prison?
I'm gonna go inside.
What is that? But
2.900 từ vựng chỉ trong vòng 3 tháng. 80 đến 90% nội dung phim tiếng Anh mình có thể hiểu mà không cần đọc phụ đề. 15. When I joined
the forum
as the young
global leader, I was thrilled. I was thrilled. So many ideas. For the first 3 to 4 years, I learned what does
the
globalization mean? What does cooperative citizenship mean? What does social responsibility mean? All these new ideas. And I saw so many great leaders talking about leadership.
And I
benefit a lot.
And the year 2008.
And the year 2008 and 9 when the financial crisis, I thought it better to go back to work.
Because we can never
win the world by talking.
So go back. Spend 7 years.
Spend 7 years.
Now I come back.
I think it's time to do something in return.
So I learned so much.
Let's talk
12 years ago.
12 years ago.
So why
should I not be talking
to the young global
leader of today,
sharing with them
how we gone through.
That was the thing.
So that
let's start with
where
you are today. How big
Just how big
is
Alibaba?
How many people come
every day?
How many people come in a
How many people come in a week?
How fast
is this growing?
Yeah,
We have
over 100
million
buyers
visiting
our site, shopping
on our site every day.
Every day.
And we create 100 million every day.
We
created
14
million jobs for China directly and indirectly. And
we grow from
18 people
to 30,000
people, 18 people in my apartment. To now we have 4 big campers. Compared to 15 years ago, we were big. But compared to 15 years later,
we're still a baby.
Years later, we're still a baby.
How big will you be 15?
How big will you be 15 years from now?
I think 15 years ago, I told my team that
15 years
in the past
15 years we grow from
nothing to this size. And 15 years later,
I want people to see and know about Alibaba because it's already everywhere. I want
15 years ago when we
talked about what is e-commerce,
why small business
can use this e-commerce, use the internet, can do business across the nation. And I hope 15 years later, people forget about e-commerce because we think it's like electricity. Nobody thinks that it is a high tech today.
This is
something that I don't want 15 years later.
We still work
on the street talking about why and how e-commerce can help people.
If you are looking for a cost that is both efficient and convenient,
you tried to get into 3 colleges. Each time they rejected.
No, I tried.
No, I tried.
There's
I hear examination.
examination that young people.
Examination that young people.
So if you want to go
If you want to go
university,
university,
take the examinations.
you have to take the examination.
So I failed 3
So I failed 3
times.
times.
Quite a lot of fail.
But I failed at a lot of
I
things.
failed for
I failed for
funny things that I
funny things that
failed at
I failed. I failed key
key primary school
primary school test
test for 2 times.
2
And I
times,
failed
and I failed
like 3 times for
3 times for the middle
the middle
school.
school, middle schools.
Middle schools.
And
And
you will never believe
you will never believe
in Hangzhou, my city,
in Hangzhou, my city,
there's only
there's only
one
one
middle school
middle school
that lasts only 1 year.
that lasts only 1 year.
It was changed from
It was changed from
primary school, middle
primary school to
school,
middle
because
school,
our graduates of
become our graduates.
our
Our
school,
school.
no
No middle
no
school
middle school accept us because
accepted us
we're too bad.
because we are too bad.
It will become a
It could become a middle school.
What effect did it have?
What effect did it have for
Being rejected?
being rejected?
I think we have to get it.
Well, I think we have to get used to it.
We're not that good.
We're not that
Even
good.
today,
Even today,
we still have a lot of people.
we still have a lot of
Reject
people
us.
reject
I
us.
think
I think
when I
when
in the-
I
graduate
graduated
from
from
universities,
universities,
and before I
and before you know,
for 3 years I tried
for 3 years I tried
to fill in the university.
and failed to get into
So I applied
university.
jobs
So I applied to jobs
for 30 times,
for 30 times,
got rejected.
got rejected.
I went for a police.
I went for police.
They said, no, you're not
They say, no, you're not
good.
good.
I went to
I went to,
even the
even the KFC.
KFC. When KFC came
When
to
KFC came to
China,
China,
I say,
came to my city,
KFC. When KFC came to China, come to my city,
You applied.
20
24
people,
people went for
24 people went for
the
the
job.
job.
23 people
23 people
were accepted. I was the
accepted.
only one guy.
I was the only guy.
And we went for police.
And we went for police.
5 people,
5 people,
4 of them accepted.
4 of them accepted.
I was the only guy that
I was the only guy that never received it.
received. So
So to me,
being turned down,
being turned down,
rejected. Oh,
rejected.
by the way, I told
Oh, by the
you
way,
that
I told you that when
I applied for Harvard
I applied for Harvard
for 10 times rejected.
for 10 times rejected.
I know you rejected.
I know I would be rejected.
I
Sorry
just want to
now.
say that.
They're sorry now.
Yeah, sorry
No.
now. 10 times you wrote
10 times you wrote
them and said,
10 times you wrote them and said,
I'd like to come to Harvard.
I like to come to Harvard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I told myself
And then I told myself someday
I should go teach there.
I should go teacher there one day.
I think that can be arranged.
I think that can be arranged.
Richard Nixon came
Richard Nixon came
to Hangzhou.
to Hangzhou
And after that,
And after that,
tourists flooded
tourists flooded
the place.
the place.
And that's how you learn.
And that's how you learn English.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really like
I really liked the.
I don't know why at
I don't know why
12, 13
until
years old,
13 years old,
at the time I suddenly
at that time I suddenly
fell in love into the
fell in love with the language
language, the English.
English.
And there's no place you can
And there's no place
learn English at
you can learn English at that time.
There's no books in
There's no books in
English book.
there's no books, English books.
So I went to the
So I went to
Hangzhou
the
hotel now called
Hangzhou hotel now called
Hangzhou Shangri-La Hotel
Hangzhou Shangri
because that was
because that was
the hotel
the hotel that received
can receive
the foreign visitor.
visitors. So every morning for
So every morning
9 years I showed
for 9 years
them around as
I showed them around
a free guide,
as a free guide,
and they taught me
and they taught me English.
And I think
And I think
that changed me.
that changed me.
Today I'm what
Today I'm
100% made in
100% made in
I
China.
never got one
I've never got one day's
day train outside China.
training outside of China.
And
And
people,
when people
talk to me, say, Jack,
talk to me and say, Jack,
how can you speak English
how can you speak English like that?
Why sometimes you
Why do you sometimes
talk like an American
talk like the new Western
Western guy?
guys?
I think that was the
I think that was
9 years.
9 years.
These
These
Western
tourists
tourists opened my mind
opened my mind
because
because
everything
everything they told
me
me
so
was so
from the
different
things I
from
learned
the things I learned
from
from
schools
the schools and from
and from
my parents.
So
So
now I have a habit.
now I have a habit.
Whatever I see,
Whatever I see,
whatever I read,
whatever read,
I use my mind.
I use my mind.
Think about for 2 minutes.
Think about doing business.
Is that how Ma
Is
Jun
that how Ma Jun
became Jack Ma?
became Jack Ma?
Actually, Jack,
Actually, Jack,
the name was given
the name was given by
by a lady in tennis.
a
She's
lady in
tourist.
tennis. She's a lot tourist.
She came here and she
She
said
came here and she said,
that came to Hangzhou.
came to Hangzhou,
We become
and we became
pen friends.
pen friends.
Marrying is so difficult
Margin is so difficult
to pronounce.
to pronounce.
So she
So she said,
said, do you have an English name?
do you have an English name?
I said, don't. So
I said, no.
can you give me an
Can you give me an English
English name?
name?
She said,
She said,
okay. She
okay.
said, my
She said,
father called it
my father's called Jack.
Jack. My husband called
My husband called Jack.
What do you think about Jack?
What do you think about Jack?
I said, good.
I said, good.
So I've been using that for
So I've been using that for many years.
I have a question for you. If a foreigner asks you like, how are you? How would you answer?
First visit to
First visit to
America,
America,
1995.
1995.
1995.
1995.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kept
I came here
here
for a project
helping the local
helping the local government
to build
to build up
highway.
a highway.
And you tried
And you tried
the internet.
the internet.
I tried the internet in
I tried the internet
Seattle,
in Seattle, and in a building called
or the U.S. Bank.
the U.S. Bank.
I don't know where the U.S. Bank.
I don't know whether U.S. Bank still there
Still there.
or not, but it's a building.
But it's a building.